For their responses, the member from Beverly Gore Malton.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, before I begin, again, I'd like to introduce and welcome the Canadian Sikh Association members. I'll begin with Baljeet Singh Kumar, the Chair of the Canadian Sikh Association, Balkaran Singh Gill, President of the Guru Nanak Mission Centre in Brampton, as well as Jasveer Singh, President of the Gursikh Sangat Hamilton. Mr. Speaker, Vaisakhi is a very important celebration. On a cultural note, it marks the spring harvest in South Asia, and it is celebrated by many communities across South Asia for the spring harvest. But it is a particularly and distinctly Sikh celebration, as it marks one of the most important celebrations in the Sikh spiritual faith. It is the celebration of the creation of Khalsa. The Nagar Kirtans and celebrations that we will see in the coming weeks and the coming months will are also known as Khalsa Day celebrations. The historical significance is that during the Vaisakhi season of 1699, the 10th and last spiritual teacher or Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, created what is known as the Khalsa and the Sikh Articles of Faith. A Sikh who wishes to become initiated into the Sikh spirituality is known as an Amritari and becomes a member of the Khalsa order. The Khalsa order is a unique concept in that it is one of our principles as Khalsa that it is a human responsibility to not only pursue your own spiritual advancement, but it is a responsibility and duty of all humans to seek justice and equality for all, and to commit yourself to resisting oppression of any sort. That is a commitment that one makes as a Khalsa, and it is one of the reasons why we celebrate the Khalsa Day and Vaisakhi, is because it is a celebration of freedom, of justice, and of the tireless and relentless pursuit of equality for all. The term Khalsa originates from a language and a word that represents sovereign or free. And when we celebrate Khalsa Day, we are celebrating, in actuality, we're celebrating freedom and the concept that all human beings are born sovereign, are born free. There was a tradition that existed in South Asia that people were born into a particular family or a particular clan, and that would prohibit them from accessing resources in society. That system was known as a caste system, and the Khalsa, or the Sikh philosophy, was one of the essential goals was to eradicate this oppressive system that prohibited people from accessing places of prayer, from accessing resources, from participating in society. That equality is one of the fundamental bedrock hallmarks of the Sikh spirituality. And that's one of our essential elements as we celebrate the Vaisakhi and celebrate Khalsa Day, is that we must commit ourselves to selfless service. The concept of seva is the idea that every human being should commit themselves in their day-to-day lives and in a concerted way to giving back to humanity, to giving back to their fellow brother or sister. One of the most important things, and I take a pause at this because it is a continuing issue here in Canada, in Ontario, and across the world, that the oppression and the continued subjugation of women that exists across the world, that is something that the Sikh faith spoke very, very strongly against, that the treatment of women for any society to progress requires equal treatment of women, requires us to recognize that all human beings are equal, regardless of gender, regardless of caste, regardless of color, and that's an essential fundamental principle that I'm very proud to stand today. When we celebrate Vaisakhi, we celebrate that importance. If you look conceptually at the time, there was many injustices occurring against various people, particularly women, and that was an essential element of creating the Khalsa, in which every woman, man or woman, is able to participate in any and every spiritual tradition without any barriers. That's a thing that I'm very proud of, and I wish to share that with the Legislative Assembly. In Punjabi, I'd like to share a couple of words. One of the most important quotes that we talk of when we talk of the 10th Guru, Guru Gobind Singh Ji, was Manas ki jat hum eko pehchan, eko pehchanabo. The idea that recognizing the entire human race as one, recognizing they were all one, brotherhood and sisterhood, is an essential element, and Guru Gobind Singh Ji spoke about that very, very often. When we look at the unique identity of the Sikh faith, it is something that does stand out. We see the 5 articles of faith, the star, the turban. These elements are all actually signs or flags that the person that you see with those unique articles of faith is someone who stands up for principles of equality, justice for all, of resisting oppression, all values that we all share as Canadians, as Ontarians, so that when you see someone and you celebrate Vaisakhi, remember you're celebrating these important values that are also Canadian and Ontarian values that we all cherish. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.